back with another video. And I'm gonna be talking about the Sagittarius. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can figure this out. 1 second. What's going on? And so we're gonna be talking about Sagittarius, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about Sagittarius. Okay, so yeah, for those of you that are here, like I say, be doing multiple things on this channel. So I'll be doing gaming, I'll be doing zodiac content, and like I say, Team Pisces is my backup channel. So I just wanted to, let you guys know what's to come. Now let me see here. Okay, so what I'm gonna be talking about is let me see. I'm gonna give you guys 20 reasons, okay, about Sag. Now, one of the things with Sagittarius, what makes them snap. Now, if you guys watched the situation that happened with Shamar Elkins, the guy that killed his whole entire family, which is sad. I mean, you could just look at the guy and see that something's not right just by his facial expression on the picture, that the mugshot that they took of him. Now, Shamar Elkins is a Sagittarius, and he's born on December 7th. I just want to show you guys an image. Let me see if I come up with one. So I'm sure you guys seen this image, but in case you didn't, this is how he looks right here. So that's the guy that, took his whole entire family lives, killed like 8 people. And it's crazy because like his behavior reminds me of uh Ted Bundy in such a way. Because Ted Bundy he did something similar with the same type of you know, mental thing going on with the brain. Now I'm gonna talk about different things, as you guys know, for Sagittarius to be like someone that is usually, I would say, joyful, jovial, someone that's likes to stay happy, doesn't really like too much, serious moments or um, seriousness in in their day to day walk or their day to day. Um, how can I say it? Just in their day to day, they don't like to have situations where they're you know being around people that aren't serious. So that's one thing to look for. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys how does the situation relate to the Ted Bundy situation, because you guys know like the way he like how was he so successful in the criminal acts that he committed. Now, one thing about it is they both did two different crimes, and it's also like they both had like the same motives, if that makes sense. And that's in regards to like the narratives. So like if you look at the differences with Shamar Elkins, like I say, his situation is tied to domestic violence and family issues, where Ted Bundy, his situation was more targeted with multiple women, over time. So, but at the same time, it was an involvement of manipulation, predation, and just sexual violence. So that was the difference between the two. Now, if you look at the same motives between the two uh, killers, it's almost like it involves some sort of seriousness of a situation of which they just couldn't like handle it. They couldn't, they couldn't feel better. They couldn't fix it. So now I'm gonna tell you one thing. Now, allegedly, this man cheated on his wife, Shamar Elkins. So let's that's just allegedly what the story tells us. And if for those of you that have been there, done that, it's not a good situation, as you don't really get to see if the person that you cheat on, you don't really know if they're going to stay with you or not. But unfortunately for Shamar Elkins, it wasn't like something that he could handle. He was already under stress. He was already, in distress about, other things financially as well. So that could have tied into his heinous acts. Now, welcome Aiden Fernandez. Welcome Eli Anderson. How y'all doing? And so as you guys notice, the situation between the two, Ted Bundy and Shamar Elkins, it's like they both just have different categories of their violence that they committed. So it's like it hits on different levels. Now, but there's a difference though. See, it's more of a psychological thing that happens or that takes place. Now, I'm gonna go off into number one, okay? And what I have is, okay, let's start off. I'm gonna start off like this with y'all, just to give y'all a little background about Sagittarius. First off, is that Sagittarius is naturally ruled by Jupiter. People oftentimes like to focus on the fun, adventurous, brutally honest side of Sag. So that's like why I said that for the most part, when you perceive or get to know, or let's say you know one already, you will notice this. You will be, it's not too much on the surface that you will see that will make you think otherwise. So you may think that they are, fun loving, adventurous, brutally honest. And like I say, that's just one side. That's just one side though. Now, but what other people tend to ignore is how fast they can go from chill mode until they're done. See? And usually they snap when they feel trapped. So it's almost like the mouse that could. See, it's like if you were to have freedom to roam, to run around until you're trapped, then you begin to feel uncomfortable. You begin to feel micromanaged, controlled, or just seen by others. So this could be a situation that can make a Sagittarius snap. And then at the same time, a Sagittarius will feel disrespected or just mentally drained. Now, that's why I said there had to be more to the story than what was told in regards to Shamar Elkins, taking his kids' lives because he committed murder and he killed all 8 of his kids after his wife decided to divorce him for cheating. See, so that's like a serious situation at hand, and I can only imagine that he became mentally drained by it because maybe she was getting in his face, maybe she was making him take full accountability for the situation that he did, and it's like he probably wasn't trying to he couldn't handle it. In other words, now one thing about a Sagittarius, what will make them snap is that they hate being micromanaged. See, so oftentimes they hate feeling controlled, and this is on any scale. So it's almost like, let's say a Sagittarius partner texts them like, "Oh, where are you? Who are you with? Send me a pic." A Sagittarius is gonna start feeling like they're in prison. See how they went from 0 to 100 real quick? You see how just the mere fact of someone checking on them and just want to know if everything's okay, but they're asking about the whereabouts, send me a photo, just trying to make sure that person is there. That will trigger a Sagittarius into snapping. See, because like I say, they start feeling like they're in prison. Then it's also um, a situation like this. They may just ignore you for hours just because you checked on them. See, in regards to you just merely checking on the Sag, making sure everything's okay, they can just ignore you for hours. And here's another thing. They can become blunt very quickly with you, checking on them. They may say things like, why are you checking on me? I'm not a kid. And, hey, like, you either trust me or you don't, and they can just literally snap to where, as I always said, if you come out of a bag or you bring a cat, I said, if you come out of a bag, I meant to say, if you pull the cat out of a bag, you can't put it back in. Now, another number 2 is the fact that if a Sagittarius snap is usually because somebody constantly was killing their excitement, this is the type of zodiac sign that likes to stay happy. So if anything were to, kill their vibe in regards to it, like I say, they could get extremely aggressive, and reckless. Now, the thing about it is they get hyped about ideas quickly. So as soon as there's an idea to do something fun or there's something else, a bunch of different types of activities for that Sag, they're all for it. See, they get hyped off of these things. So let's just say they basically say to themselves like, "Oh, I want to start my own business." You see, they may say something to themselves like, "Oh, I want to start traveling. I want to go, stream on YouTube. I want to move out to, out west, or I want to move up north, or I want to move, to all these different cities." But let's say somebody responds with, "Oh, that probably won't work, Sag." See, that will piss off that Sagittarius to the core because, like I say, their mood will instantly shift because you understand with Sag, it's like there's like that, like how Pisces is that mutable, that fire, it's like mutable. So it's like at times it's easy for a Sagittarius to like be moved by something. See, that changes their whole outlook, even if it's like something that they're not interested in. Now, another thing is when it comes to number 3 is passive aggressive behavior. So most of the time Sagittarius, they prefer to, be direct in communication. See, welcome. Was it EI Jordan? What's going on? Hey, what's up? It said, what's up, Brody? Um, yeah, so that's one thing to note is that, like I say, a Sagittarius, they prefer direct communication. So let's say somebody posts on, Instagram, Facebook, even if it's off of social media, let's say they post indirect quotes, online instead of instead of just speaking about it directly to the Sag, then the Sagittarius is gonna call it out. Z Big, welcome. Said, is this live? Yeah, this live. When I'm just talking about, what makes a Sagittarius snap, because all over YouTube or whatnot, or the news, should I say, they were, people were discussing uh the murder, the guy, the killer or whatnot that killed the kids. I guess this happened on like April 19th, but he killed like all eight of his kids. He killed or shot his wife in the face, did all these crazy things. And I was curious to know what his zodiac sign was. And sure enough, his zodiac sign is Sagittarius. So it gave me the idea to start this, to do this live, to talk, go more in depth about the behavior, because as you guys meant, as you guys may not know, that Sagittarius does have another side to them other than that jovial, excited or happy type of, personality that they have. Now, another thing is let's say, for instance, like I say, um, if you were to try to not be optimistic or say something negative to a Sagittarius that has these big plans, big ideas, their mood will instantly shift. See, now another thing is this. Um, as I mentioned with the passive aggressive behavior, so let's say somebody, they end up posting, indirect quotes online instead of saying it to the Sagittarius face, then that would make a Sagittarius call it out. Now, another number four is this. What I have for number four is that what would make a Sagittarius snap is that if you repeat yourself over and over and over and over, um, many times the Sagittarius understood you the first time. So let's say they're at a job, because this is like an area where this would most likely happen for the most part. And it's almost like, let's say a boss is just, going over the same task, 5 times, like that. Sagittarius is just incapable of understanding them. A Sagittarius could get irritated very quickly off of this. And it's like, you, it's almost crazy, because it's like something makes this. See, anger is not good for a Sag. See, because if a Sagittarius was allowed their mood to change in, in an emotional way, it moves them. See, it makes them, you know, move out from the very thing that they need, because they do not like to operate, or that's not their comfort zone. That's not their element of operation, by being moved by emotion. So it's easy for them to get irritated and leave. See, it could be a job that they were, that they worked to the point where, oh, somebody pissed them off on the job. Then Sagittarius could be the type of employee that will walk off the job because of it. So that's something to, and it's because of the impulsiveness. It's the, oh, I don't have to sit here, listen to this, or I won't listen to this. Because sometimes the Sagittarius can have a bigger than life attitude concerning life. See, so they always they see life in a way that's in regards to abundance, if that makes sense. Now, another thing is Sagittarius, oftentimes they hate fake deep conversations. Okay, so they may love, the real connection, the real conversations that are not forced by wisdom. Okay, now let's say somebody acts spiritually evolved, but then they treat everybody badly, okay? Especially if, like I say, it's in the workplace. Then that can make a Sagittarius notice, the hypocrisy, because you got to understand, with Sagittarius, they can see the truth in others very clearly. Like they know, like you can't tell a Sagittarius what happened at your job concerning you, getting disciplinary, any type of thing, because Sagittarius will know if you're at fault. See, they can literally, they're quick at knowing things like, okay, they're quick at getting to the truth of things. Now, another thing is a Sagittarius may snap if they feel, like I say, they feel trapped in boring routines, because if there's too much repetition, that's the quickest way to bore a Sagittarius. Okay, this not only bores them, but it drains them. See, they can't function in such a way that it's like, okay, they they have trouble of letting go. They have a trouble of fixing things. See, because they're not a fixed sign. So it's almost like as soon as they're in a situation and it makes them feel uncomfortable, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna leave instead of like fixing it. It's like if a Sagittarius makes a mess, and even if it's their fault, it's like they still don't want to, have the accountability there. They don't want to be accountable for it, even if they were the ones that caused it, because the whole routine of how that goes. So if it's some type of redundant, just boring routine of how things, play out, a Sagittarius is not going to be able to function in that situation without snapping. See, now another thing of why or what makes a Sagittarius snap is that, let's say, now I want to say one thing I forgot to mention. When a Sagittarius feel trapped in a boring routine, let's just say, for example, a person's like, wake up, um, and you guys go do your daily workouts together. It's almost like if the situation was like this, if a Sagittarius woke up in the morning, had breakfast, went to work, sleep, and just, repeat that same thing over and over. Then what would end up happening is, after months, they may just randomly just quit that. They would literally be done with it, because it's like they have to take their mind off of that routine because it bores them or it makes them feel some type of way. And at the same time, a Sagittarius can instantly distract themselves by choosing a different idea or a thing to do. So let's say the whole mirror, the same routines of a situation, the Sagittarius can, like I say, wake up in the morning, have breakfast, work, sleep, and then all of a sudden, when they randomly quit, this is what they'll do. They will impulsively plan a trip. It's cold blooded, see, because they need to be a part of the next big thing, or something that's already, the big thing that makes them feel excited. And it's almost like you can't do the same things or same routines and expect to have a long lasting relationship or friendship with the Sag. Welcome, James Hudson. How you doing? Um, Glad you could make it out. To make it out tonight. Um, yeah. So another thing is this. Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming out. Yeah, definitely. James Hudson. Appreciate that. Um, so yeah, let's say number 7 is this: is that a Sagittarius doesn't like any type of seriousness whatsoever. Okay, they like to keep everything, considered or related to light fun. They like things to be like, uh, how can I say it? They like everybody to be, happy, everybody to be friendly, just no type of seriousness whatsoever. Like I said, now, so let's say you're the jealous type of partner. Well, that's not gonna fly with a Sag. Just so you know, that's not gonna work. And See, let's say there's a situation where, they need trust. Then let's say the partner ends up just getting mad every time they talk to somebody that's attractive. See, a Sagittarius is gonna feel suffocated. So you ever heard the saying like cock blocking and those type of things? That's how a Sagittarius would feel in a situation such as that. It's like they'll feel like you're trying to block them from talking to someone, and it's nuts. It's crazy because it's like they can't deal with stuff, or they won't. And here's the thing, they won't deal with stuff like that. It's like that's why I'm telling you, that's why I'm telling you telling you like this, because it's really like there's no chances, if that makes sense. It's like they're not gonna be like, oh, because you're making exceptions and excuses. No, they're just gonna be done with it. They're not even gonna try. Once they feel suffocated, they just bolt off into doing something totally different. Now, another thing that makes a Sagittarius snap is like being, interrupted mid-story. Because one thing about Sagittarius, and also with the other fire signs, Aries and Leo, is that they love, storytelling. So they could be in a situation where they're telling a funny story, and then somebody keeps cutting them off to talk about themselves. Then the irritation just gonna start building and building, and then that Sag is gonna snap. See, so that's one of the situations. Now, another thing that would make a Sagittarius snap is, dishonest people pretending to be honest. So a Sagittarius, they hate hidden agendas, or anybody that has like, hidden plans or motives. And I would say this as an example. So let's say somebody, says that, hey, I'm just being real, while just manipulating everybody behind closed doors. So that would be the type of situation that a Sagittarius would hate. Now, another thing that would make a Sagittarius snap is being underestimated, because they joke a lot. See, the problem is it's hard to tell when the Sagittarius is actually mad at something or someone, because they don't show it. It's like a person could be pissed internally, but not, wear the mask of how they really feel. So you could assume that a Sagittarius is, playing along with the situation. You could think they're, joke, they're because they come off to be jokey, and it's like as soon as you see them, you could instantly, underestimate them, because you're focused on the joking that they were doing, but they can actually be super pissed off and then snap to the point where nobody saw it coming. See, so people oftentimes they mistake a Sagittarius humor for a lack of intelligence. See, so friends can assume that a Sagittarius isn't serious about goals because they laugh a lot, and they will come off like that. Like you might think that your Sagittarius loved one or spouse, like, oh, do you have any plans in life? Like, what are you doing? Like, everything is so funny to you, as if you don't take life serious. So that could be the situation. And then when you think that, see, you gotta understand that the Sag is like 10 steps ahead, because they could just win quietly. They could be doing all kinds of things, s- you know, let's say in regard to, successfulness. They could be doing, running all different types of plays. And then it's like, little do you know, you just get the whole side that they show you, the whole jokey, but they can actually be behind the scenes, making business deals, you know, basically making contracts, giving them out, and it's like, damn, I didn't know you were doing all this because of the whole, joking matter. Now, another reason that make a Sagittarius snap is that being forced to pick sides and drama. See, they hate, unnecessary conflict. So let's say two friends, they argue, and then they demand that Sagittarius to choose sides. So what may happen is that the Sagittarius will get upset and snap and cut both of them off. See, because a Sagittarius is not going to stay in a situation where, oh, they don't feel comfortable, or they don't feel, they just don't feel right. It's like, oh, you want me to take your side, and the Sagittarius would be like, nope, I'm not doing it. Now, another reason why Sagittarius will snap is because of last minute, changes in the situation. So there is like last minute control changes where, oh, something just suddenly happens out of the blue. Then it's like the Sagittarius will hate those sudden restrictions. See, a Sagittarius, they hate any type of restrictions. It could be, hey, do not park in this lot. This is private parking. Well, it's almost like the Sagittarius will say, well, hey, I'm parking here, or, F all of that. It's like it could be a handicap spot. It could be a spot that's, reserved for, curbside, or just, folks can, deliver the food, bring it to you. They might actually park there just because, oh, I'm not walking all the way around, or I'm not, I'm just going to be in and out anyway. So it's like a situation like that. They do not like restrictions. Um, let's say they planned a road trip, then someone just changes everything at the last minute. That's going to cause an explosion with that Sagittarius. One of the number one things in relationships that a Sagittarius cannot stomach or handle, mentally, is to be stood up. See, like if you change plans on the Sag, even if you really had something, let's say something that was an emergency, the Sag is going to explode. They're going to be done with you. They're not even going to like give you the benefit of the doubt and say, "Oh, okay, hear your side." Nope. They'll just explode, and they'll move on. See, now uh another thing of why a Sagittarius snap is that uh being lied to about small things. So even those tiny little lies, they feel weird to a Sagittarius. So sometimes the lies about where they were. See, it's certain types of questions that a Sagittarius literally cannot handle because they get triggered by it. So the the very common thing that most people don't like about Sag is them wandering off, or hey, where are you at? That's a number one vibe killer for a Sag. For them to snap is the, oh, where are you? Where were you? Those type of questions. So if it's a situation like that, it's almost like if somebody lies about it, and they lie to the Sag, they say, oh, I was over here when they were really over there, then it's almost like the Sagittarius is not even going to take the person serious at all. So Sagittarius could just start questioning everything at that point. And that's why I say that would lead on to them snapping. Now, another thing is that Sagittarius, they will snap because they don't like closed-minded people. They're very philosophical, so they have that whole expansion of knowledge and wanting to know and try new things that they haven't. A lot of times they can travel, out of the excuse me, y'all. It could be a situation they like to travel out of town to meet people. So they might not even want to meet, anyone in the same city, that they live in. It could be a situation where they want to go meet people in a different state. Um, as they roam around. So that's one thing. So let's say if a person is closed minded. So what a Sagittarius, what they love is, expanding perspective. So let's say somebody refuses to hear another opinion, and then insults everyone, who disagrees. So it's like in a situation like that, as an example. So another thing that will make a Sagittarius snap is their generosity being abused, because they could be very giving at the same time and not selfish. So they could also, always drive everybody around them to places to go do things. They might take you to go to the liquor store, take you to pick your kids up, all these different things, because they like to travel, they like driving, and it's like that could be a thing to keep them from being bored. Now, here's the thing. If a Sagittarius starts to pay for things for you, because like I say, they're very supportive of friends. So once that Sagittarius realize that people only call when they need something, it's over. So it's like if you are the type of person that's receiving that type of support from a Sag, hey, do not abuse it, because as soon as that Sagittarius feels like that someone is only hitting them up because they need rides or they need something, they're done, man. And the craziest part about Sag, when they're done, it's just like with Pisces. They're done, bro. It's like you cannot get the same version that they gave you. See, it could be a thing that's related to the whole uh mutableness of a sign. Now, another thing that could piss off a Sagittarius is public embarrassment. So even though they could be the type of person or have the personality of, being happy and excited, they like to laugh a lot. Okay. So if they are humiliated publicly, that's going to make them snap. See? So it's almost like they hate to be pissed or, to be angry or anything that would trigger it. So it's like they like to stay in the light of laughter. A person that's always, telling a joke. They could come off, being a little bit of ADHD at times because they get bored quick. So you can basically misread them into being in such a way when they really are just bored out of their minds. So it's they can hear a music song or something on the radio, and let's say it's an awkward silence in the car. They might actually hear the song, dance, and they might actually just go all into it, quote the lyrics, and then it's like, oh no, I need to chill out, I need to focus on something. Then they might end up, matching that word with a car. They might say something like, oh, Ford Focus, or oh yeah, that car is a piece of shit. Like, they gotta keep going and keep going and keep going to where they do not like a dull moment. And if they feel it and they experience it, guess what? They're gonna get the hell away from you. Like Sagittarius is different from what you may expect of a sign from a person, because they they have to be truthful to themselves. See, it's like if they don't like something, they're not the type of sign to just, let's just get through it, let's just finish it, let's just ignore it. No, a Sag is like, I don't want to be here, or I don't like this person. You can't trap them. It's almost like a loose dog. You just have to let the damn leash go and let them go, bro, because if they feel trapped, they're going to snap, and it's going to be a breakthrough or a hole in the wall anyway for them to leave. It's almost like you don't, to save the damage, just let them go if they want to go, bro. You don't try to stop them, because one thing about a Sag is that if you challenge them, they're gonna take you on it. It's like, think of a person that's like looking at that challenge as, a fun moment. It's like, oh, you want to fight? So they can literally fight you, but then be joking. But you can't tell, like, let's say you're an emotional type of, person. You respond better to your emotions and understanding others, and with empathy. If you go off the mere vibe of a Sag, you would not even think they were mad for one moment, because they could really fight you, beat you up, and be like still smiling and smirking and laughing, like as if they didn't just whoop you, to where it's like you would be like, damn, dude, are you serious? Or like, are you playing with me, or are you dead ass? And it's like sometimes the the emotion is not matching the behavior. It's like they're just doing that to keep their own sanity, because if you let a Sagittarius just like not express that jovial side, bro, they will literally snap, bro, to where then you would definitely see the archer like in full motion. Like you will see like this wasn't something that you expected, because it will end bad for everybody. Like they'll literally crash out to where they'll destroy everything in their path to where it's like it wasn't even worth it. It wasn't even worth you even trying to put all of that on their mental. See? And a lot of times when everybody gets arrested, God forbid, the Sagittarius always says these three words: leave me alone. It's like, had y'all just left me alone, none of this would have happened. It's like, dang, why y'all just didn't leave him alone, man? Leave her alone, bro. It's like when you just keep trying to press and get the last word, then that Sagittarius just, snaps. Now, another thing is okay, let's say somebody, exposes the whole private details as a joke in front of others to embarrass the Sagittarius. See, that could be a situation like roasting. So let's say the Sagittarius could just roast somebody publicly, but if somebody does it to Sag, it could be a problem. See, especially if the other person is really getting them with some good ribs, it's like they can really, they can't take it that happened publicly. So it's like they'll take it as a humiliation. See, now, and the only reason why is because of the private details. So that's the whole thing. If it's something privately that you guys talked about, but then it gets, let's say it gets out because you guys are ribbing and you go too far, they're gonna snap because you went too far. Okay, you mentioned something that was like in confidential and you use that as a rib, that's gonna cause like a fight. Now, another thing is if a Sagittarius feels intellectually boxed in. See, let's say you guys are talking about, it could be anything. It could be spirituality. It could be opinions, in regards to different subjects of any kind, school, curriculum. It can be anything. If a Sagittarius feels boxed in with that particular mindset of yours, your opinion, or hey, how you see life, they're going to, like I say, need the freedom of thought. See, so it's like they still have to have their own space of how they see things and how they think about things. Now, let's say, for example, let's say a family says to the Sagittarius that this is how it's always been done. Like, oh, these were always the rules. Mom did this, dad did this. Your sister went to school, went off to college, and they're coming at the Sagittarius in such a way. The Sagittarius could be like, and that's exactly the problem. See, like they can look at you doing something in routine, but there could also be problems with doing the same thing. See, so it's almost like even though you might be right about how things were, remember I said the Sagittarius is a truth seeker. They find the truth in every situation, so they could definitely find out the problem as well. So they would say, "Oh no, yeah, okay, but yeah, that's the problem. See, that's how it's always been done. So now it's time for a change." See that? Because a lot of times with Sagittarius, they can have a lot of knowledge in things that people don't normally talk about. And it's like it could be some things that's like numerology or something that nobody hardly ever learns or something, so it's like in those moments. Now, another thing is Sagittarius will snap if people, waste their time. So one thing about Sagittarius is that time is of the essence. So they ain't got a whole lot of time. They're not patient at, when it comes to others, far as holding them up, or you just playing with their time, in other words. So if you waste a Sagittarius time for any reason, they're gonna snap. It could be them literally, let's say you guys are hanging out and you literally see a friend and you're like, "Hey Joe, what's up, man?" And you stop the car, but you and the Sag was supposed to go to the mall or go do something. But you pulled over and you stopped to say hi to your friend John or Joey or Brenda, Susie, And you're like, what's up? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you got that Sagittarius in the front seat waiting while you sit there talking to, who, God knows who, they're gonna snap. They will literally interrupt you and say, yo, we gotta go. Hey, I ain't got all day, bro. I got to go. Like, we gonna go to this thing or what? Like, and they could come off as being rude, but they're not being rude. They're just being direct, telling you the truth, but it can hurt your feelings because they're bold. They're not gonna back down. If they feel something, think something, they're gonna say it. It's like it's so easy for people to not you know be able to handle the truth, because the truth hurts when your friend tells you, you're talking too much, or your friend tells you, oh yeah, you're wrong for that, or you shouldn't have done that, or yeah, that's your problem, or yeah, now that's why, and Sag does that. Sag is the type of sign that can get you, they can say the truth, but then it feels like it could get a rise out of you, because it's like you could be in a situation that you might not want to know, the things that you do wrong. You might not want to know anything flaws related. And it's like a Sag will literally say the very thing you don't want to hear. So it's like you could be like trying to do something, and then the Sag could stop you and be like, oh no, you shouldn't even be going down there. Like, they'll say something like, didn't you say you wanted to stop drinking? Like, why? No, you don't even have no business going down there at that bar tab tonight. Like, I don't even understand why you're going. And that right there could be, man, a person hearing that, because it's the truth, they could get pissed off. Like, what do you mean? Like, bro, who are you talking to? Like, and it's like a Sag is literally smiling and just like, good and hell well, you said hey, you want to stop drinking, so why are you going to that tavern or that tab or that bar tonight? Like, you shouldn't be going. And it's like a Sag is really trying to help you and get you to, like, get you to stop, like you said you wanted to. But you can literally listen to the truth and feel like it was weaponized against you, just because that person, heard you. And then you can get extremely, like, pissed. And that's, what's crazy? A Sagittarius is mutable fire. So if you get mad, fam, what do you think the Sagittarius is gonna do? They gonna get mad. So if you are basically in a situation, right, like that, and let's say, for example, that Sagittarius was trying to help you, but it hurt your feelings, how they delivered it. As soon as you get mad, the Sagittarius gonna get mad at you for getting mad. It's like, oh, don't tell me you mad. I know you mad. It's the truth, but that's what you said. And it's like they want you to, just be accountable for what you said. But then if you get pissed off, the Sag's gonna get pissed off at you for getting pissed off. See? It's like they'll want to fight, and they will snap because you did. See? And then that'll be the whole excuse. Or not, it's not so much of an excuse, but that would be the whole reasoning that the Sag will have towards you. They'll say, oh, you got mad because I told you that you shouldn't be at the bar because you said you wanted to stop drinking. So it's like, that's the Sag. Well, see, this is the thing with everything that you experience with Sag becomes a lesson. See, it's like you did something, you said something, the Sag brought the truth to you. But the thing about it, what you can't control about Sag is how they deliver the truth. See, it's like, imagine a pizza man, Domino's delivery driver. He's coming with your pizza. Let's say it was a Sagittarius. A Sagittarius is the driver. You don't know how he's gonna deliver that pizza to you, because he ain't gonna wait on your ass to get up, take your precious time to open the front door. that Sagittarius might, hey, put that damn pizza underneath your door and like push it in. You know, it's like they might set it on your the little bench, or like put it somewhere where it's gonna show like, hey man, I delivered your food, but I'm not even gonna wait no 20 seconds for you to come to the door. Like, it's almost like they want things to be immediate. Like, you can put, man, listen, I have a Sagittarius friend that does this. He is so impatient. He won't even wait on a GPS to take us somewhere. If I say, yo, bro, let's say we're gonna go get some food, some tacos or something, and he'd be like, yo, let's go to the one that's like, 10 miles away. I'll be like, okay, let me put it in my GPS. As soon as I'm typing in the thing, he's like, what are you using that for, man? Come on, man. Hey man, let me drive. Just let me drive. I'm like, what, bro? I got the GPS. He's like, bro, I don't need a GPS. That's just doing too much. He was like, you don't need a damn phone to get around town. You need to learn how to drive without a GPS. He said, because what if it comes to be one day where there's no more phones, no more damn GPS, you're going to be lost. I said, he's like, then he said, as he said that, then he said, you're going to be lost, and guess what? I'm not coming to get you. I was like, oh damn, bro, you really had to say it like that, right? But it's just crazy because he's telling the truth, but it's like it the way it's delivered, it's not like a pillow. Oh, I'm gonna say it in a way that makes you feel good. They're not gonna say it in a way that's like gonna make you feel good. They just gonna say it how they see it, how they think it, to where it could be it could rub you the wrong way. To those words can rub you the wrong way to make you feel like, well, whoa, bro. Like you saying that like you attacking me. I feel like you're attacking me with how you use your words, because they don't. Here's the problem. They lack tact. See, tact is like when you approach a situation in a different way. It's like everything is based off your approach. Like, if I want to help you, I got to know how to talk to you. See? I got to know how to approach you. I just can't abruptly just say, yeah, man, put your seatbelt on, bro. If I say it like that in that tone, man, who you talking to? You see what I'm saying? It's like, but if you say, yo, um, I'm getting ready to, to proceed with the ride. Hey, if you need help with the seatbelt, it's in between the seats. Sometimes you do gotta cushion your words to where you get your point across, but it's like you just ain't just saying it like, like you just don't give a fuck. It's like you gotta say it like, kind of hint towards it, like, yeah, in case you can't find the seatbelt, it's like right in between the seat. Matter of fact, let me help you. And it's like all you really doing is making sure they got their damn. It's the same thing, but your approach is different. See, it's like the person can only see you trying to help them versus you telling them, like, how to help themselves. They get upset, especially older people. Like, if you say something like, let's say you pick up somebody and they got groceries, you're like, yo, make sure y'all put y'all shit in the trunk. Like, you be like, you say it just like that, they gonna be looking at you like, what the hell did he just say? Even though you saying the right thing, it's the delivery. See, so that could be something that could be a problem. Now, another thing is, okay, so let's say if somebody were to overlook this, all right. Now, let's say, for example, let's say there's a flaky friend that cancels plans repeatedly after the Sagittarius move things around. See, now I'm gonna tell you that friendship will end. See, because as soon as you cancel plans, you're not. It ain't no rain check, bro. It's over. Sagittarius is not gonna fall for that whole my tire, my mother. No excuse. You cancel plans, it's over with. Now, another thing that would make a Sagittarius snap is that they hate emotional manipulation. See, so if you are a Cancer, for example, this could be a problem if you try to use these type of, strategies, because guilt trips don't even work on Sag. See, this is a thing. Like, you see, that's the thing with Sagittarius. They have their mind is not. How can I say it? Their mind is not wrapped up into an emotional blanket or headband. It's like they have their own mind, bro. It's hard for you to guilt trip them because they have an opinion about everything, bro. So imagine somebody that's just hyper opinionated about life, every single thing, how the world is made and was and what's to come. You cannot even make a Sagittarius, just bending, move aside or just step aside. As I mentioned, the GPS example, they're not gonna do it, bro. You think Aquarius is resistant or detached, that won't listen because they're considered the rebel, right? Wait till you meet a Sagittarius. That's the type of sign you can't control. You cannot control a Sag, bro. You could try, you cannot do it, bro. And I'm strictly telling you, an emotional manipulation is not going to work on them, bro. They can feel. Could you imagine somebody that doesn't want to be controlled? That's the thing. See, they can feel all forms of it. It's like you could tell them, though, man, put your seatbelt on. Guess what? This a Sagittarius gonna do. He's gonna put the seatbelt on in front of you, right? And as soon as you hear that click, you take eyes off of him. Then he gets to doing this shit. That's what a Sagittarius does. They put their seatbelt on, but then they got to put the damn strap thing over their head, and then it's like they might put it on just to take it off, just to show you can't control them, bro. And then they'll say something like, "Well, I guess I'll be the only one going through the windshield. If something, hey, if we crash, I'll be the first one out, at least." And then it's like everybody will laugh, but it's like, bro, you really dead ass serious? Like, he ain't putting that seatbelt on. And then if it does go down like that, guess what? His ass is the first one outside. So it's like, it's crazy how they think of things. And as I always mention, that people, well, they oftentimes do say that people that, joke about the truth, or when they're drunk, they're more truthful. But with Sag, it's just they're always just saying it how they think of it, how they think things through. As soon as something comes across their mind, they're gonna say it. Um, Sanchez, Misty, welcome. How you doing? I'm doing all right. I had bad news as far as now. The thing about it with the whole, me showing you guys things, and I was saying like how I was taking things, but I was just trolling y'all. But it was just like, what's what the craziest thing about me showing y'all that stuff is that I actually got I got suspended from work. So I'm like, damn, I got suspended. And guess what? Somebody reported me, and it was a false report of shoplifting. I said, what the hell? I said, bro, I ain't never did no shoplifting. Like, everything that I was like doing on here, just messing around and shit. I'm like, I was trolling, bro. But then it's really like a situation happened to where somebody reported me for doing something that I didn't do, bro. And I'm like, you know what? They lucky that, see, right now my account is suspended. So it's kind of like what do they call it, temporary deactivation, so I can't even use the whole app situation. But here's the thing, in my theory, and me being a Pisces, is that I'm still blessed, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you why I'm still blessed, because this, I first off, I didn't take anything. Second off is this. Remember I told y'all it's always good to have more than one stream of income, bro. And I like, really, it brings tears to my eyes. At the same time, it's like You ever do something and you never know why you're doing it, but you notice that you have to do it? It's like saving up for a rainy day. It's like you don't know why you're saving all this money, right? And then some bullshit happen on your job where you damn near you don't know if you're gonna have your job or not, but then you got like 20 bands put up and you like, oh my God, like bro, this is why I was saving. And you didn't know why you were doing that. See, until the situation happened. So me, I'm like, I was like, bro, there you go. It was like a pat on my back to where I was like, bro, like I still got like 3, 4 jobs. Like, and you know what's crazy is, bro, I grind, bro. Let me stop, bro, because man, man, today, cause I got a cleaning business, bro. Tell me why. Now I did have to drive like to Madison, Wisconsin, and I live, you know what I'm saying, in Milwaukee, uh, you know, in the suburb area, community, whatever. But man, made like $150 off of like it was like an hour and a half, bro, cleaning a 1 bedroom apartment, bro. Just mopping the floor, cleaning the toilets, cleaning the shower room. And I'm like, bro, and I'm not being cocky, I'm not being arrogant. Well, all I'm saying is like, always, 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 always have more than one job, bro. Never just have one damn job, bro. Because if some bullshit happen, guess what? You're shit out of luck, bro. But if you got something else that can still put money in your pocket and you can still live, you ain't losing. It's almost like, yeah, hey, the devil then got, hey, he done slowed some shit down, but guess what? He ain't do nothing. He ain't slow nothing down. See? Because now I still got like 3, 4 jobs. And hey, I got, bro, you know what? That's what I do. I always have backups, bro. I never, and you know what's crazy? It's like you could build a backup plan, and then it's like you made that backup plan so good. Like, 'cause I got 7 years on driving, just doing. Remember, I told y'all I did Uber and Lyft for 7.5 years. Boom, all that experience. Look, to the point where I took a break off of it because I got shot at. But bro, it's almost like that was good money, and it still is. Do y'all? I don't know if anybody in the chat has ever done it, Lyft driving, Uber driving. But here's the difference. I have started my own business. So I have my own cleaning business and I have my own transportation business. So I don't have to use the platforms. I could literally just hand my own business card out, boom, and I can literally just, take somebody, let's say it was a guy standing outside my car and he's like, yo, can I get a ride or can you take me down to the thing? I can literally legally take him like, okay, boom. Then next thing you know, he just hand me over the cash and I can literally give him a receipt and everything. So that's what I'm saying is like, you have to sit on different things you could do to where while you're waiting, you just getting what ends up happening either way, no matter what. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's it put it like this. What is the number one thing that happens to most people? They get discouraged. See, they get depressed. They get, oh my God, like that was my bread and butter. That was my job. How I'm gonna pay my bills. Oh man, they start worrying. Then they stop moving. They become depressed. They sleep in. And it's like, no, see, it's something, if something slows you down, don't even you have to trick your mind into saying that it's not slowing down. See, you got to speak it because when you say it's not slowing down, this situation will resolve itself, even if it takes time. And if it's meant to be, see, it'll still be there. Because how can God? level you up. If you're holding on to something and you for dear life, it's like what if God got a better plan for you? What if he wants you to do something different? You gotta be willing. Hey man, I'm doing this for a season, but hey, if this ain't the future or this ain't my purpose in life, it's gonna change. But I gotta be able to change right with it. I cannot just be, oh my God, I gotta hold on to dear life. No, I can't lose this job. No, 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 no. You can't do that, bro. See? And if you say that to yourself that, or let's say you feel that way, it will be ripped from you. See? Because the lesson is everything that you have, as I've always said, is not yours, bro. You're blessed. Like, let's say you got a vehicle, you blessed, bro. It's a lot of people that don't have vehicles, and if you don't, doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just that some people fortunate to do something, and some people have to work to get it. It's like you gotta work to get it, bro. With me, man, I was stacking, bro. See, it was hard for me because I was always just having to, stack. I had to get out the mud, bro. I had to stack all my bread, bro, to where as soon as I realized, okay, I got to go to the lot to get a car, I'm like, man, I gotta save up like 3,000. See, just for a down payment, woo woo woo, and man, that's the start off with the three, and I was just working towards that, but it's like you gotta save everything to where you might be living off a peanut butter jelly sandwich for a couple months. But if the sacrifice is the best part of the come up, because you start realizing that damn, you getting so many benefits. You start losing weight. You start just prioritizing the right stuff, and it's like it teach you how to save. But the challenge is that peanut butter jelly sandwich. Like, or if you budget, you give yourself like a $30 a week, you know what I'm saying, little pay thing, to where aside from gas and whatever else you gotta do, you only got like 20 to 30 to play with. So if you do get some food or something, you just get a hamburger, or get you like spend $2, just get you like two McChickens, and then a cup of water, get you a little gallon of water, maybe a 24 pack of water. And you just gotta know how to, cause look, I'm gonna tell you the trick, bro. Your mind, bro, you can manifest things into existence with your mind, bro. To where if you think you broke, you're gonna be broke. If you think you rich, you're gonna be rich. If you think something, that's what it's gonna be. See? Cause we have to take dominion, fam. Like, you can't be looking at a situation and then start getting discouraged, like, oh man, that's it, that's all I can do. No, you got to think in abundance, like, okay, if this don't work, I could do many more different things, and I will. See? And then if something happen, you have to speak it into existence that, yeah, I'm gonna get this back, or I'm gonna have this, and yeah, this is gonna stay here, and I'm gonna have this. Oh, I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have kids. You have to speak those things into existence. You can't just expect them to come to you, or just doubt. See, if you doubt, and you live your life in the state of doubt, well, I met this dude today, okay? As I was cleaning his house, bro, the dude said that he hasn't had a woman. And listen, he said he hasn't had a woman, if what he said 50 years. He said he has not been with nobody, bro. He was with someone, and then they cheated on him, and he said it's been years and he hasn't been with another woman, bro. And he was a veteran at some point or whatnot, and it's like this man was just like, he just looked sad, fam, and he was just like, his girlfriend cheated on him with his best friend. He said he had came home one day, and his best friend was in the bed with his woman. They was having sex and shit. I'm like, damn. And it's crazy because, bro, like, even though, like, oh man, even though dude was like, oh, he was old, but it was like, it just kind of made me think, like, damn, bro, best friends is the same thing that I just did a video about. Like, friend, it has the word, it has, the way that it's spelled is like FRIEND. But that end on the friend, it always comes with it. See? It means that at some point, sometime, it will end. So it's like, until that friend wants something of yours that they're willing to sacrifice or end the friendship for, it's like, oh yeah, if they want your woman, they're willing to risk a friendship. So it's gonna end. See what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I was your friend until I met your girlfriend. So that's why I always say, like, you gotta understand what the end on friend, it means that the situation is temporary. See, it's just until the person realize it's something that they're willing to end it for. It's like, oh, I want your girlfriend. Oh, something you got, they want to take it from you, or it could be something that they want to obtain. See, from you is why they're holding on to you with the whole friend thing. Look at the friend situation as a handcuff. It's like, okay, I want to be handcuffed to you, but at some point I want to break away from you. See, you just don't know what it's going to be for. So that's why I always say you can't trust friends, bro, because they're temporary. You can't trust something that you put it like this. Friends are like currency, okay? Friends are like friends are like currency, meaning like money, like a dollar bill in your pocket. So as soon as you can't even walk around with so many dollar bills on you. See, it's like if you got a lot of friends, it's like it's too many people to manage. That's how you know it's an illusion. See, it's a situation that people think that these people last forever, but it's like they really last until they want something that they feel, you know, is worth it for them to end the friendship. But that's just my opinion. Y'all, I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what it is, because why is it that people that have friends, they don't have as many friends as you? See, it's like a friend is is a temporary situation. Money is temporary. Because if you don't save money, bro, if you don't have the right friend, you're screwed, bro. You're cooked. If you don't have enough money, you're cooked. See? So it's better for you to have the right friend than to have friends. See what I'm saying? Because that just means that you're going to be tied to people, and it's going to be a higher chance of it ending. See, with all these different people. Could you imagine you got 20 friends and now it's time to end things and cut ties? It's like, damn, there's gonna be a lot of cutting, bro. Whole lot of endings. And then it's always something that how it ends is like it's it's like to the point where it's like a contradiction of what how you guys became friends in the first place. It ends like, oh, he slept with my girlfriend. Well, damn, is that what he wanted all along? Or let's say this. See, you gotta understand, if you're somebody's friend, right? And then all of a sudden you meet their girlfriend, right? Boom. And then you're like, yeah, dude, she's man, she's cute. Or you realize it's something that you really like about her, right? But now your friend is like, it's like um he's a dispensable, like how can I say it? It's like now you're willing to sacrifice the friendship for his woman, because now you're just looking at him as being a like, oh, I'm gonna just use you to get to her, like you're not even looking at the friendship anymore. So that's why I always say, like, until that friend wants something of yours, then it's like, oh, they'll end up doing you in doing you in, because that's what came with the contract, bro. It's like doing you in because END is at the end of the word friend, and that's what has to happen because it comes with it. It's like you can't get a combo at McDonald's and say, oh, I don't, well, hey, I want a combo, but I don't want the drink and I don't want the fries. It's like, bro, that's what it comes with it. So you just want, want the one thing you want. No, 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 no. I want the combo, but I don't want any fries and I don't want the damn drink. And it's like, bro, now you look like a damn fool. See, because now it's like, bro, you're not making any sense. That's how a friendship is. It's like, oh, I want a friend. I want to be cool with people. I want to have friends to talk to. But you don't notice that the ending comes with it. And you don't get to pick how it ends. And that's the scary part because let's say a person loses their life. Your own friend, betrays you. See, the reason why is because the friend a person can only betray you if they were your friend. See, if they were your friend first. So when you look at FRI, it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you were my friend at some point, but it's not going to always stay that way. And you know, the craziest thing, a lot of people have given their friends several, forgivenesses or chances. Hey, man, I'm sorry. I did this to you. So a lot of times a friend has burned them, fam, to where now the person has, gave them another chance. But a lot of people get burned by friends than strangers. It's cold blooded, bro. See, a person that is a stranger has not decided to be your friend. So there is no ending because I didn't sign up for this shit. I didn't sign up. I didn't never say I wanted to be your friend. See? But the craziest thing is you can't pick your friends, bro. It's cold blooded. See, when you pick your friends, it's almost like you're trying to say, "Oh, I want to be your friend or I want to be your friend." And then all of a sudden, you don't understand that you're tying yourself to these people, but you don't understand that you're also tying yourself to different endings. That's all I'm saying. And like I said, scariest thing, the more friends that you have, the more issues, see, that you could face because you don't know what that friend, where that path, see, that friend could pull you in a path that is not your purpose. And then once it ends, they can leave you there. See, now you can't find your way back. It's like, damn, I was just living my life like this, and then I met this person, and now I don't know how to come back to my center because this person then led me off too far out of my comfort zone, and your identity of who you are and how you move through life. The friend could be a bad influence and introduce you to all this other shit that you had no interest in, and then decide to, leave you there. Oh man, yeah, man, I don't hang out with Chris because he never wants to do shit. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't play cards. I just don't want to fuck him. And then all of a sudden, you're like, okay, now what? Now I'm out here at the damn, you know, in the neck of the woods of what my friend liked to do, to where you chose that person as a friend, and now they left you out there to now to have to go from that and go back to who you were or who you used to be. It could be challenging. It could be hard to find your way back to your center just because you let that friend influence you so much to all the shit he liked to do. To the minute you say, yo, I don't want to do this anymore, as I did a video about that. As soon as you say, hey man, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to play cards. I don't want to shoot dice. I don't want to live like this no more. Then the dude he wants to hurt you now because you just want to do something different. See how the friendship comes with the ending? It's like, oh, as soon as you don't want to do what the friend likes to do, you're cooked. It's not that you have to. It's just that there's a lot of people that are only friends with you because of what you guys are connected to together. See, Just imagine like you and your homie, y'all go around talking to females. Boom. Then you get to a point where you want to settle down or you just want to focus on school. Hey man, I'm done with that chasing tail shit. Man, hey man, I'm about to go to school and I'm just gonna, pick up a trade or something. Now your friend feels like you leaving him out in the damn, thus leaving him in wilderness. He like, well, damn, shit, who I'm going, who I'm gonna have to go get these females. And you sitting here talking about school. Now, do you think the friend is gonna, respect that? Nope. Nope, he not gonna respect it. He gonna say, "Oh, you man, you one of them type," or you know, you know what I'm saying. He gonna say, "Oh, you one of them type." Yeah, all right, all right. Then what he might be plotting is that he might try to sabotage your chances of even pursuing school by getting you into an altercation with him. See, it's like you don't know how the friend is going to receive the indifference between the both of you. Now let me see. Dzilla, what's the question? Misty said, I see it and then manifest it to happen. I say it's not delusional if you can make it happen. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like somebody, see, in my situation with the job situation, if somebody reported me, somebody reported me like weeks ago of shoplifting, but I didn't take nothing. But here's the thing. If I took something, why would I? Now, let me just hear me out. If I took something, why wasn't I stopped? Why wasn't I stopped by the people that work there? Why wasn't I stopped by a manager? Why wasn't I stopped by law enforcement? Why wasn't I not stopped at any point? See? So the allegation is false, for one, and on top of that, where it's vague. There's no details. Oh, camera footages, and there's no proof. See, so I already know I'm gonna get reactivated. It's just the point that whoever did this report, it just showed me a hidden enemy. If anything, remember I said there's always people in high wicked places that watch you. People you never meet are watching. You could literally be at a job and do your job so well, and you could have like the honcho hating on you way up somewhere and you don't never see him, but he always snooping and just, he's always watching you to where you like, damn, I'm getting the attention of somebody that's bigger than me or in a better situation than I thought, that now they looking at me as being a threat. So the first thing a person try to do when they are hating is they try to, you know what I'm saying? They try to cost you something. They try to take something from you that they're already threatened by it anyway. See? But my thing is, I feel like that type of statement or the thing that was given to me through email, I feel like they were trying to get me to like in an intimidation situation, like they're trying to, make me feel uncomfortable or me, kind of just, me to say I did something that I didn't do. And I'm like, nah, bro, because y'all don't have, listen, tell me what I took for one. Where's the proof? Where's the video footage? You got to have proof, bro. I've never seen nobody say somebody did something and there's no proof, bro. I used to do loss prevention work, bro. Every single stop, you have to take pictures. You take that person's license and you lay all the shit they stole out and you take pictures of all of that. And then when the police show up, you submit all that stuff as proof and video footage because now you got a lawsuit if you sit up there and accuse somebody that didn't do nothing. Now your ass in trouble. See, because you can't do illegally. You just can't do that, bro. You can't just say, "Oh, this person looks suspicious. I think he's stealing." Nah, bro. See, them people at that store, bro. They know that I shopped there for over 4 years. I've been in that store all year round, from summer to winter to spring, all the way through, and they know, like, yeah, he must be making money off this because damn, he's still doing that. And that's my intuition of how that went down. Is like, yeah, somebody was hating, bro, and they just had to say something to to try to stop me. See, but they can't stop me, bro. Nope. Like this situation will resolve, and I'm just letting y'all know about it because you could be in a situation like this too, where just something, a false accusation happened, and then all of a sudden somebody said you did something, and it's like, bro, when you almost like, since when? Because you will get stopped by, listen, law enforcement will stop you, fam. Like, what do y'all think? What y'all think happened? Let me see. D Zilla said, could he ask you a question about zodiac sign? Sure. He said, I never thought about it like that. Oh, you talking about the friend thing? Sanchez said, when they are vain, they grow. Oh, okay. You said, when they God, they hint. When they hint, they are unbelievable, and when they are unbelievable, they unite. Oh yeah, for sure. Missy said, exactly, can't fire on suspicion. Yeah, definitely, man. Misty, you hit it on the head. It is. I believe it is monitoring spirits, because this type of thing was like, somebody had to. Somebody, I feel like somebody, put it like this. Like, I feel like somebody had to find out whether or not they could lie on on a independent contractor. Like, they had to even see how they could lie, and kind of sneak it and squeeze it in there, because they had nothing. So if you give somebody like let's say, a way to do something, if something was like seriously done, some people abuse it. They'll lie. Oh, you give a customer, you know, options to, or choices to say, oh, my order wasn't delivered. The person was rude. If you give a person all these extra options, they're gonna, bro, it's some customers, even if service was good, everything was good, they don't give a, it's customers that think that's funny, or it could be a Karen, or someone to just like, oh, yeah, you did a good job, but guess what? I'm gonna ruin your life and put a didn't receive order. And then all of a sudden they shut your account down, you get suspended or whatever. It's like, damn, I thought I'm just doing a damn service. How the hell can I get in trouble if I'm delivering your damn, just delivering your food? I didn't know that I could get in trouble for that. Like, who the hell gonna waste their time stealing something? That's stupid. Like, why would a person uh jeopardize their life or their career or just their name, to do something? And it's like, bro. Now I will say this, like, I'll show you guys pictures of this real quick, because like with me, I was taking like 100 piece item orders, to where they got this thing such as triple triple batches, triple, where you get 3 freaking orders at once. Some are even like 4 orders at once that you have to shop for. Imagine having to drag 2 grocery carts with 3 to 4 orders separately. See, and then have to separately put this stuff in your shopping cart to know which order is, which person's. Is like, you have to divide 4 orders within one cart, right? And then imagine you go to checkout, and then they ring you up, and then they start, messing up your little the way you have it set in your cart. They start mixing stuff, to where that's happened to me several times. Is why I always like to go to self checkout, because I can sit there and ring it up to where it doesn't get, mixed up with another order. So you can actually get in trouble for that. Like, so let's say you accidentally, put the milk of, Maria's order, and you give it to Joseph's. And even if it was just an accident, you can get in trouble for that. See, just because, oh, the milk went, you know, got mixed up. So that's why I always say, like, with me, I just think that a person, and I'm gonna tell you, this was a month ago. They're bringing the date from a month ago. I'm like, what the hell? Now I know y'all really reaching. It's not even instant. Like, I don't know. It could be, but I don't think so. It had to be somebody from a store that reported me, and I'm like, bro, it's no way. Like, I didn't. If you do a report on someone, that person has to be present. See, it's like, because it's like you get a copy, I get a copy of what happened. You're not just off the hook to where if you really had something on me, you will also have paperwork, camera footages. You will actually have me in custody with you, and it'll be like, yeah, on September 5th, 2026 or something like that. It'll say, uh, you know, Jerome Smith, or such, Andre Dixon, Dennis Johnson. They'll have their name, and they'll say what they did, what you caught them doing. That's a real report. Oh, I caught him. It could be even a little photo of you holding something, or them just pulling something out of your pockets or something to show proof that, yeah, I stopped this guy, and his name is this and this and this. And then that will be like, okay, now I've caught your independent contractor taking these items, you know what I'm saying, like at our store. Then that would be a more thorough report, or statement or whatever. But it's like, if it's nothing, bro, I'm like, bro, somebody reaching. Somebody is super pissed that I just like, and I be plain clothes. This is why I always say, if you're chosen, bro, you can never hide, bro. You can wear the same clothes every day, and guess what? You can have just as many haters as someone that's dressed up, bro. You could literally be the type of person that don't bother people, and everybody wants to bother you. It's like you can literally mind your own business, and guess what? Everybody's trying to get in yours. It's like the way of how the world is like, damn, bro. Like, I even try to tone myself down. I used to be a real flashy type of type of guy, which I'm totally opposite of that now. I used to be the type of person that used to, wear fancy outfits. I used to, have jewelry all over me. I used to have gold teeth, top and bottom. That's how I used to dress, bro. I used to be very, very flashy, bro. And then I just changed, bro. I just changed to where I just didn't wear none of that no more. So then it was like, you know, and I felt like when I was like that, people will always be intimidated to talk to me. All kind of shit used to jump off. And then when I stopped doing it, people still are the same. That's what it kind of like messed me up mentally. I'm like, damn, even though I changed and I toned it down, it's still there. Like I just gotta be me, bro. That it is what it is, bro. I can't like tone nothing down. People either they either rock with you or they don't. That's what it boils down to. Now, let me see. Yeah, you said mantra spirit. Okay, so yeah. Now, another thing with Sag is that let me see. Yeah, if you lie to a Sag about small things, yeah, definitely that can make them snap. Okay, because even if it's a tiny lie, as I mentioned earlier, it's a weird thing. Now, another thing is if a Sagittarius realized that somebody was secretly competing with them. See, one thing about a Sagittarius is they do not back down from challenges, from competition, all right? So this is something that can hit a Sagittarius hard, because let's say a friend smiles in a Sagittarius face, but then they downplay every achievement of that Sagittarius. Now, once a Sagittarius catches it, because 9 times out of 10, a Sagittarius will find out the truth, man. See, you gotta understand, this is not someone that is like Scorpio that's trying to be a detective about the truth. No, Sagittarius they always find the truth. They're truth seekers. So it's like it's very hard to manipulate them. It's hard to like trick them because they're gonna find out the truth about the situation. Now, once they catch it, they're gonna become cold, distant, and brutally honest. Now, you gotta understand, at this point, when a Sagittarius gets pissed, have you ever met a person that is brutally honest, but it's like they can still deliver it such a way? So what am I saying? They become cold, okay? They become cold, distant, and brutally honest. They will weaponize the honesty at this point. So let's say a Sagittarius knows the truth about you. Oh yeah, they would be brutally honest. See, it's not a foot and mouth syndrome that takes place when they snap. They know what they're saying, and they know they're putting that foot in mouth to be brutally honest with. There's like they're just letting just saying it how they saw it, how they felt, everything all at once, to where it's like, damn, they don't even care about your feelings with what they say at that point. So that's one thing to mention, because if a Sagittarius got like, if they know your business, let's say they know, truth about your living a situation, let's say you're financially struggling, if they know anything about you whatsoever, they will weaponize that information against you. See, if they get pissed, they snap, they're going to use all that information against you. You're going to feel like an arrow, just literally a truth arrow, or that truth archer. It's like you feel it. You feel like, oh damn, like you feel it like an attack. Now, let's say let's talk about the part that nobody talks about. Now, if see a Sagittarius, I'll say it like this: a Sagittarius, they usually don't snap over like one huge thing, okay? Usually it's often a bunch of different mixed things that happen at, all at once. So it's the whole, repeated restrictions, the fake energy, dishonesty, emotional pressure, and wasted freedom. See, so the this is the thing to remember. See, Sagittarius, they'll laugh things off for a while, but one day they'll just completely just be done and move on from it. All right. They'll move like an archer, because they'll start to aim at a new target. Now, that's the thing. They could be detached, okay? When they snap, they can suddenly just detach. And then that's what catches people off guard, because a Sagittarius will look calm the entire time. See, you will never think that, oh, they're gonna cut you off, or that, oh, the situation between the two of you is going to end. No, because they can keep their calm, composure. Now, another thing with the guy that I mentioned, the Shamar Elkins dude that, did the heartbreaking situation with his kids. He, killed his 8 kids. He shot them while they were asleep. Headshots as well. And then he shot his wife in the face, and then he ended up taking his own life. Now, the difference of him and him being a Sag, okay? Everything of which I mentioned just proved his personality. See, he got into that whole domestic situation with his wife. He got caught cheating, see, and then his wife wanted to divorce him. But he couldn't handle the whole her wanting to leave him for good. So that's why he snapped and then killed everybody. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like I'm saying like, oh, that was it. That was an excuse. No, I'm saying like that's just the way that he wanted his way. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that he couldn't, you could tell that he couldn't even handle what was currently happening. It was too much for him. See, that it could have been a situation where, oh, he had nowhere to go. Or, like I said, they were already having financial issues. And so that means that he was already in a state of mind that was probably stressed, frustrated. And then her, saying, hey, that she didn't want to reconcile, that would set him off. See? Now, another thing is this, okay? So he killed his, like I say, he killed his eight children. Now, he also injured two women, and then he died after the police chase. Now, put it like this. So some may say that, okay, this was an extreme act, all right? Now, yes, it was. It was a extreme act of violence, and the problem here is this. This is an example of Sagittarius rage, okay? Now, I'm gonna tell you, when when it becomes dangerous, because this, remember I said you cannot embarrass a Sagittarius publicly, bro. So he was embarrassed when she called him out on what he did, okay? Because he cheated. She called him out on what he did and then some, see? And then she did the whole, oh, I'm done. I don't want to, I want a divorce. I'm getting a divorce. So that right there, it set him off, bro. It set him off. I could tell. It set him off, and he could not control it. Remember I said, when a Sagittarius snap, they create a hole in the wall to escape out of, to leave. See, you can't, if you tell a Sag, hey, I want a divorce. What do you think they're gonna do? See, they're gonna act a fool. They ain't gonna see you. Gotta. This is the problem. People assume that a Sag is emotional. They think a Sag will just be like, oh, full receiving and just say, okay, well, fine, fair enough or whatnot. And it's like, no, they're not gonna do that, bro. Now, another thing is this: they underestimate how aggressive and reckless a Sagittarius could be. Now, they can fight. A lot of Sagittarius can fight, bro. It's not like, you gotta understand, like, they can really, really fight. Bruce Lee is a Sagittarius, bro. That's that should tell you enough. Like, bro, they can fight and they can hold their composure. See, they can look calm, but then they can be extremely vicious. See, so you gotta understand, like, with that concept in itself, that really shows, like, people that they're nothing to play with when it comes to, you playing with them, in other words. Now, another thing is, let's say, the whole pattern of the matter. So one thing about Sag is that there's a pattern that keeps going. You see, it's like the man, for instance, Shamar Elkins, he used to be, a veteran. So he's already had a history of shooting, and all that type of stuff or whatnot. So if you take that and then you apply it to what just, happened on April 19th, you'll say to yourself, well, damn, he was already, you know, into a situation where, hey, it could have been chaotic at one point. So now it's like, now the repeated pattern happens again. So now you know, let's say he used to hold a gun back in the day, and now boom, he's done it again. Now, except this time he's taking, his family's lives. Now, let's say one of the things when it comes to the violence. See, Sagittarius is a all or nothing. See, they have that type of attitude towards life. So they can feel like this. They can feel like, if I can't have you, nobody else can. That little saying right there, nine times out of 10 came from a Sagittarius. See, that, hey, if I can't have you, nobody else can. And that could be disguised as love. But see, the real situation here is if you leave me, I'll ruin everything. So what does that tell you? See, you gotta understand that with the centaur, the lower body of the centaur is basically Taurus. See, a lot of people don't understand that. And see, the thing with Taurus is like it's a situation where a person literally doesn't want to let go. It's like a, how can I say it? It's like a person that is they can really want to have their hands on the material things, on like the whole extensions of life. And see, the problem here is this: them having that whole mindset of control. Oh, this is all mine, and hey, if you leave me, this is gonna happen. That's the same behavior of Taurus, bro. And Taurus can be very possessive and jealous of over their families and what they currently have, even if they obtained it for from a good sources or not. Now, here's the thing: when when a Sagittarius looks at their family, how do they look at their family? This is why I said the lower part of the centaur is considered Taurus, because they have four legs, right? This is just what I see out of it in regards to my theory, okay? Because here's the thing: Sagittarius, they see their family as possessions, all right? So they could treat the loved ones like extensions, like I was saying, of themselves. See? Now, if a Sagittarius like Shamar Elkins, he clearly showed this, because that's why he took his own kids' lives. Because if those were his possessions, he felt like those were his kids. So why would he want to leave his kids behind? See? Remember I said Sagittarius could be thinking in such a way where they can feel like they're right, but they're really going about it reckless. It's like, remember I said they lack tact. See? They're very, very like clumsy, like in a way, when they decide to, express themselves, because a lot of times it's all about how it's delivered. See? And see, they can literally, you know, feel like they're doing the right thing, but then they can outwardly be doing the wrong thing in the worst way. See? Now I'm gonna tell you. See, one of the things with Sagittarius in regards to Shamar Elkins is like they care about what? The public image. That's what they become obsessed about. So Sagittarius can literally have the whole how things look type of attitude, to where, or just opinion, to where they care about looking perfect than looking healthy, if that makes sense, in front of others. Now, if there were a situation like a separation, then that would make that Sagittarius feel humiliated. See? So the mere fact of his wife wanting to divorce him, you can only imagine that set him off. He couldn't handle it. He didn't want to handle it. See, that's why he took the lives from everyone. Because remember, with Sagittarius, they have this type of feeling that, damn, what was the they have this type of feeling like damn, I'll come back to it. I actually forgot what I was finna say. But yeah, it's like let me see where I left off. Okay, so they can let me see where I left off yet, y'all, because I literally got a brain fart. But it's something that I was gonna say. It'll come back to me. Okay, so let me see. Let me go back to my notes, y'all. So we was talking about the public image. Okay, so one thing, okay, so what I was saying is like The fear of abandonment, it could turn into rage. All right. Now that's one of the other things. Now, um, let me see here. We'll see what I got. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, so let me see here. So I got a bad migraine, y'all. So that's probably why my head just been hurting. Is like, man, what I was just finna say, like literally just like slipped up. I like slipped to where it's like I'm trying to find where I left off at. Um, okay, so as I mentioned, they have if I can't have you, nobody else can. So like I said, they see their family as possessions. So it's like they feel like their kids have to go wherever they are. So in regard to Shamar Elkins, he took his kids' lives thinking that okay, they gotta come with me. Or if I'm gonna take my life, then I gotta take theirs too. They gotta come with me. I don't want to leave them behind because they're my possession. See how philosophical that is into them thinking that they're doing the right thing, but it could be reckless, as I mentioned, because it's like, damn, that's not what you should have done. It's like, no, you can't take your kids' lives because you don't want to be here, but because he feels they are his, he didn't want to leave them behind. Now, another thing is, as I mentioned, they're obsessed with how things look, publicly, public image. So they could care about looking perfect and healthy. As I mentioned, they could have a fear of abandonment, and see that in itself turns to rage because they don't want to be alone. So that rejection in itself, it can feel unbearable. That's why I said the rejection is something that Sagittarius struggles with the most. They cannot handle it, fam. So if they become rejected, that's devastating for a Sagittarius. See, now another thing is if for instance the woman, just like in this case, files for divorce, what do you think the Sagittarius gonna do? How they gonna snap? Of course they're gonna spiral out. They ain't gonna be able to handle that. See, because that whole rejection itself, it feels like a restriction. They hate. They cannot listen. It's like kryptonite to Batman. He cannot handle it, fam. So that's the same way it is. That rejection and those restrictions, that's exactly how a Sagittarius will feel, just like Superman in regards to the kryptonite. Now, another thing is that if this situation is untreated, okay, it could definitely lead into some type of, health crisis. Now, when it comes to see, the whole thing that he was doing would show what he was fearful about is the whole mere fact of her leaving him. See, but as I mentioned earlier, it's like I said, Sagittarius, they're very philosophical. So like I said, they always think that they're doing something the right way or being, truthful about something, but that they can have no backing because it's like, dude, you can't just go and take everybody's life just because you're upset with your, wife not staying with you or not wanting to. But sometimes they can go through it, with drastic measures. Now, um, if there's a situation that most people don't understand about Sag the most is this. They are very, 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 very jealous. See, they get extremely jealous of others. I'm going to tell you why. See, they can look at a situation like you being independent, but then they could also feel like they could feel like that independence is betrayal, see? And let's say, for example, a Sagittarius friend gets a new job and they become, controlling. See, that could be the way that the Sagittarius handles it. It's like they start to want to control the situation. Now, if a Sagittarius were to run out of money or experience a financial struggle or loss, if their finances collapse, guess what? So does the Sagittarius because they will become shameful. And see, if you are already stressed, right? If you mix that with pride, what becomes of that? See, destruction. It's very dangerous once you apply stress mixed with pride. Okay, now a lot of times, if you were to come across a Sagittarius like this, how would they behave? What they would do is they will, they once if they were their finances are affected in any type of way, shape, or form, they will hide it. Okay. Now, another thing to mention is isolation. So, it could be a moment where there's no healthy support system going on. And see, here's the thing. As I mentioned, a Sagittarius being very generous, they could push everybody, away just as helping them. Okay. They could be the type of person that help everybody, but then if they feel like people are using them, then they can be the total opposite. So they can definitely push everybody away. See, based off of how, as I mentioned, what they say and how they deliver it. Now, another thing is if there was an emotional crisis, oftentimes a Sagittarius will weaponize it. Okay. They can weaponize the access to it. So they can become super dramatic about, topics, certain things between, both of you. It could be anything that, from A to Z. Now, one thing is that if if that Sagittarius is in, let's say they are indulgent with, with substance abuse, um, like I say, that the whole situation could become a mess. Okay, it can worsen. Now, um, if you were to get into an argument at this point with the Sag, they could become more volatile. Uh, while while they are drunk or whatever they're currently doing, getting intoxicated. Um, they can also have custody battles with their baby mamas or vice versa. So it's almost like if the Sagittarius has children, then the Sagittarius would try to use the children as leverage. And it's almost like, there could be a situation where the Sagittarius is like, yo, I could make it to where you can't never see them again. They can get into those type of like, threats towards others as well. They could also be restless and experience deprivation. So the Sagittarius, as I mentioned, it's like they can have a severe lack of sleep. They can experience that, but it could also mess up their mental, regarding, have them having stable thoughts, if that makes sense. See, because they could just be mentally, just unstable to where by not getting enough rest, because sleep is important. Now, if they experience just days on end without no sleep, then they can end up, emotionally just breaking down. Now, one thing about a Sagittarius as well is they can be the type of person that could have secret resentment towards someone. It could be years of bitterness, but then it can just explode suddenly. They could smile publicly, but at the same time privately they could be boiling on the inside. um they may also, just they can also want to avoid accountability at all costs. See, one thing about Sagittarius is they refuse to accept the consequences. So they can blame everybody else and get off the hook with it. Now, a lot of times, if a Sagittarius lose a relationship, then it's like it will always be somebody else's fault. They're the type of person that can just blame people. Oh, let's say you catch them doing something, they can always be the type to blame it on somebody else. It wasn't them. They just don't want to be accountable. Um, Another thing is they hate feeling, exposed. So sometimes a Sagittarius can realize that those hidden lies can come out all of a sudden. See, that's like I say, the cheating, the debt that they have is it just secrets are just revealed. All right. Now they could also go through childhood, traumas, especially if it's left untreated. So the trauma itself, like I say, it doesn't excuse the whole violence, but then it's like unresolved pain, and it can lead to the disorder of, just the whole distortion of the whole situation. Now, um, in regards to behavior, now they also can repeat those abusive family patterns. So that's another thing to be careful about. Now, Sagittarius also could be the type, they could be suicidal within their, thoughts, because a lot of times they can have revenge, fantasies of revenge. Now, know that if a Sagittarius in a situation, if they feel like they're gonna go or they have to do something, take their life, they're always gonna have that mentality to take everybody else's life with them. Now, um, another thing with Sagittarius that people ignore is that every time a person experiences something with they Sag, they will always say that everything concerning that Sag seemed normal. See, so once they go like AWOL and they start, just crashing out, it's almost like people don't understand this is the reason why. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Misty said my sister doesn't let many bother her. That she knows, but a stranger she can be nuts. Damn, that's crazy. Is your sister a Sag? Misty said, Trey, seriously, DM me. I'll send you some oils I made with Pisces love and energy. Okay, okay, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna DM you as well. I also I got a WhatsApp little chat room thingy too that I'm gonna give you. So yeah, I'm gonna DM you that to get those oils. But yeah, so yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning of the live, is that the Team Pisces channel, that's just my backup channel. And then, like I say, on this channel, I'll be, doing multiple different types of content and videos, whatnot. And like I say, Sagittarius is a cool sign. Like I said, my grandmother is a Sag. It's just that, like, you can't just be like the way they deliver things. Like I say, it could be tactless to where it could be, and I'm gonna tell you, like sometimes a Sag is just unaware. They can literally be like, you know, just not even, trying to be that way, or it's not like they're intentionally trying to hurt you. It's just that they can be the type of person that they have the heart to be honest, but it's just like far as how it's delivered, they try to avoid the whole, sugarcoating fake energy. So they say it exactly how they felt it, if that makes sense. See, now the problem is that it's hard to read them in regards to emotions. See, you can't emotionally control them either. It's almost like that part of them in regards to their emotion is cut off, because it takes emotions in order to be accountable for things. Like you have to feel bad. You have to feel like you've done something wrong in order to be accountable for, behavior or something you've done. So if there's no emotion, there's no accountability anyway. So that's why I always say, like, if a person has, like, they just don't have the correct emotion, they don't have the right tact, they can never stick to anything. They're always going to be trying to slide and outmaneuver and just, run from things because they don't want to face the problem of the situation. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the embarrassment. Because if it's them that caused it, they can't take it, bro. They feel trapped because they have to own it. They have to feel the consequences of their behavior, to where a Sagittarius always feels like, oh, I don't want you to know, or I don't want to be embarrassed by what I did. So it's almost like I'm not gonna fess up, because then I'm gonna feel trapped. Then I'm gonna feel like people are trying to box me in and manipulate, and it's not even like that. But see, Sagittarius have a mind of their own. It's like sometimes their mind is like, it's so much information that they come across because of being, ruled by Jupiter and the expansion. They have so much like to give, so much support, everything, but it's like the whole thing that they don't have, that is the backbone behind it, is the emotions. See, the right emotions. So that's the difference. If they were, you know, and I'll say that if a Sagittarius, like a healthy one, they will have this under control. See, they'll know their weakness and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm not good. I'm not good with that," or they're not gonna do something that they can't, like, keep their word about it. They're not gonna do it. But it's like, if, let's say, um oh, okay, Misty, yeah, definitely. Said, yeah, her sister said December 3rd, Sag. The thing about it as well is, like I say, Sagittarius is see, the thing with the whole tack is that they just, like I say, how they feel it is how they're gonna say it. So I just say, for instance, if you are friends with a Sagittarius, man, and let's say he's gonna cut your hair, and it's almost like, with the Sagittarius, man, it's like, let's say he cuts your hair, and it's like you don't like the haircut. And see, Sagittarius won't be able to handle, you, cutting down the cut, or you don't like the cut. It's like they can get extremely pissed, spiral out. If that Sagittarius feel like you acting, like a female, he's gonna say that to you. Like, "Oh man, like, dude, you be acting like a female sometime." Like, he just gonna say how he felt it without no tact. So it's like, see, when a person use tact, it's like, you you know how to maneuver, around something. It's like, oh, when a person got tact, it's like they get their point across. But when a person doesn't use tact, they don't get their point across. It's like they literally just do something that actually gives them the opposite outcome. It's like, oh, now everybody's getting locked up, going to jail, and it's like, damn, this wasn't even the right decision the whole time. See, it landed us in jail. God forbid. So that's why I'm saying it like that. But don't forget to smash the like button, you guys, if you resonate, or if you like the video. And y'all stay safe out there, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.